Hey guys, it's Incred from 751 again. I got a lot of requests after my last video to make a video on farms and why farms are so good. So let me go ahead and get into that. First off, I want to make a couple pointers first when it comes to farms. When you start a farm, make sure to bind your account. If you don't bind the account right away, you won't be able to log back into the account if you ever switch off that account. So make sure you bind it. And then important part number 2, you only get 2 newbie teleports. And what newbie teleports are teleports that allow you to teleport to any state in the game. You only get these for 15 days, or if your base is not level 6. Once your base hits level 6 or your base is older than 15 days, you automatically lose these newbie teleports. So make sure, first off, you bind your account. Second off, teleport to the state that you want your farm to be in before you start leveling the account. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, what are farms? Farms are just accounts that are there to produce resources and cash and just be a cash cow and just a farm. It's supposed to produce resources for your main so that way your main can level up faster and you don't have to purchase resource packs and waste your money on resource packs to level because you want to get your next tier unit or you want to get base 25 or whatnot. Farms are the way to do this. So that being said, what are some strategies for farms? What level farms are the best? How should I go about leveling my farms? What should I avoid when leveling up farms? What should I do? Let me go ahead and just start by saying when I first started my first account, I made about 5 farms, and I really regret making only 5 farms. I got 5 farms to level 16, and while they helped me out tremendously, getting to base level 25, getting my T9s, finishing zone commemoration, maxing out my technology, it was an absolute pain with just 5 farms. They didn't produce me quite enough as what my demand was, and I felt like I was getting held back a lot compared to other players. Because they had around 15 to 20 farms. I'm not saying you need to make 15 to 20 farms, but I'm just giving you my background on what it takes. My next account, I created around 10 farms, and that felt so much better. 10 farms, I felt like I just streamlined the leveling process, and it just went so much faster. I ended up letting some of the farms get used by some of my other friends because I didn't need the resources anymore and they definitely needed them, so I just dropped down back to 5, but I was way past needing farms at that point. So 10 farms I felt was really great for me, but if you're really trying to streamline that process of leveling your base and maxing your base out, the more farms the better. Okay, so let's talk about what level is best for farms. And I'm going to talk about 3 levels that you should get your farms to and the pros and cons towards each of those farm levels. When you're first starting out in a new state, I would really recommend getting your farms to level 13. Level 13s are probably the best passive resource farm. What they excel in is resource production. It really accelerates the amount of resources that you can produce the more level 13 farms you have. Level 13 farms absolutely pump out the resources. When you have a maxed level 13 farm, it has all its resource plots level 13, they're going to be producing around 25 to 30,000 resources an hour, which might not sound like a lot, but think about how long it takes to get a farm to level 13. It's pretty quick. You can make a ton of them really fast, and they're all going to be producing 30,000 resources an hour. If you have 10 farms, that's 300,000 resources an hour. Think about if your main produced that much at that low of a level. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Another great thing about level 13 farms is they're really low maintenance. I mean, the most you can do with a level 13 farm is explore. You can do your tech level up a little bit, and that's it. I mean, it's not really efficient to gather on level 13 farms because they have only T5 units. It doesn't care, like the load on them is not that much. yeah, T5 units are kind of nice. Like they can gather, but at the same time, it's probably not super efficient to be gathering on a level 13 farm. It's kind of just extra resources for you. But they produce enough resources anyways, you're really not going to be able to gather, or you're not going to need to gather. Another great reason why you should get your farms level 13 instead of level 12. I know exploration opens up at level 12, and exploration's huge because it produces you cash. It gets you energy cubes. You can start making trailblazer parts if you buy the parts with diamonds, and then it lets you get extra resources. I mean, exploration gives you a ton of resources, but something I want to point out is that you get your second storages at level 13 compared to level 12, and your second storages are going to let you hold up to an absolute ton of resources. I would really recommend just getting them all to like 6 million, because if they're producing around 30,000 an hour, I know this says 24,000, but my lumber camps aren't maxed, so don't worry about that. But I have it my warehouse to 6 million. If they're producing around 30,000 an hour, 6 million is going to be plenty enough if you don't want to hit your farm all week, and then at the end of the week it'll be absolutely filled up. So level 13 farms are really important, because instead of having your resource cap at 1 million like you would at level 12, you can boost it up to 10 million or 14 million, however many resources you want to hold, depending on how lazy you want to be. So level 13 farms, I feel, are the best passive farms you can have if you just want resources. So that's it for level 13 farms. Let's go on to level 16 farms. What are level 16 farms good at? They're only good for two things, or three things, I guess, compared to level 13 farms. One, they get access to tier 6 units. So you can use that farm for the kill quest. If you have the quest where it says kill T6 units or above, or kill 5,000 or kill 1,000 T6 units or above, so you can finish your daily quest. That's really nice. If you have Doomsday open up, tier 6 units are great for tiling, because you can get enough combat power with tier 6 units to take higher level tiles. So that'll be great for tiling in your hive on come Doomsday. But the absolute best part about level 16 farms is their cash output is ridiculous. You get your extra banks at level 16. You max them out to level 16, and they are absolutely rolling in the dough. You will never be able to drain your level 16 farms as a raider if you're constantly hitting them. They're just going to produce so much cash for you that you can just hit them anytime you get durability, anytime the base gets durability, you can hit them, and they'll always be providing you cash. So level 16 farms are great when you start moving towards that higher level and you're trying to get to base 23 and base 24 and base 25. And you're just, the cash requirement for that is like 40 million cash, and you're just like, how the heck am I going to get that? Level 16 farms are fantastic for cash. I really, really recommend getting your farms to level 16 when you start getting to that point where you need cash. That's really it for level 16 farms, though. I wouldn't say, like, they do produce better resources than level 13 farms, but they take a lot longer to get to, because you need to level up their embassy to level 15 in order to get them to level 16, which leveling the embassy to level 15 is a huge pain. You also, it's just a huge pain. I really wouldn't recommend it. So if you need cash, level 16 farms are great. If you're in Doomsday, get them to level 16 at least, because level 13 farms are useless in Doomsday. All right, last level, and this is the absolute best level. It's 19 or 20, whichever one you want to do. Depending on if you want Trailblazer parts, you go for 20. If you don't want to worry about Trailblazer parts, and just stay at level 19. Why are level 19 farms the best farms? It's one, they produce the most amount of resources. They produce the most amount of cash as a farm compared to 13 and 16. They can gather a ton of resources because they have access to tier 7 units, which have a higher carrying capacity than tier 5 and tier 6. And you can use them to rally level 15 clowns and take high level tiles in Doomsday. You can take up to level 12 tiles with a level 19 farm. They're absolutely fantastic. Level 19 farms are self-sufficient. They don't depend on each other. They don't depend on a main to do stuff for them. So that way they can provide cash and do Wendels and whatnot. You can just do it on that farm itself. Why are level 19 farms the best? It's pretty simple when it comes to Doomsday, and it's because they get access to missiles. And why are missiles important in Doomsday on your farms? Well, you can put them in your hive and you can load them up with anti-missiles. You can get their anti-missile level 20, so they'll have over 50 anti-missiles, and they're just going to sit there and be a tank. You just shield up, they're going to be a tank. They're great for back tiling because they have T7 vehicles. You can use them in the top tree for in the top blue tree, so they get extra destruction power. They produce a ton of cash. They're super useful in Doomsday. They produce a ton of resources. They're just the best farms you can get. Missiles are very important on them. Level 19, the exploration rewards that you get are fantastic. Exploration gives you so many resources. Let me show you real quick how many resources a max level 19 farm can produce. This is just a screenshot of how many resources it can produce. It produces 112,000. This is without any development heroes. It produces 112,000 fuel an hour. I have the storage up to 19.5 million. And I did Hero Day and I did Training Day, and then I did Hero Day again on free development, and I got this much fuel in just 1 week on extra storages. If you just do Hero Day once a week on your farms, that'll produce enough diamonds and enough teleports for them to, if they get zeroed, you can teleport them back and it's not a big nuisance. It'll also load up their stocks on resources a ton if you just do Hero Day. Not only that, but at level 19, it's pretty easy for them to start leveling up Zone Commemoration. They can max Zone Commemoration for extra rewards if you really want to be that serious on them. But otherwise, level 19 bases are really easy when it comes to getting that third box on Zone Commemoration and getting those extra rewards, those diamonds that you need. And the most important part about level 19 farms is that you can use them kind of as a second base for when your main farm needs help. One thing I want to note out about making farms is you need to have at least one of your farms kind of be your second main. One of the farms needs to be almost like a max base for its level, so that way it can rally Wendell clowns, and you can just hop on that farm, start a level 15 clown, have your other farms join and gain the diamonds and rewards and stuff from the clowns. Always have one farm be kind of a secondary main base where you get its heroes leveled up. It's got awoken heroes. It's got a good APC that it can hit high level tiles with, or hit high level clowns. It'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so that's it for level 13 through level 19 farms. A few things I want to point out to avoid when it comes to leveling up farms, and this is really important if you want to be efficient about leveling up your farms. Don't level up the resource plots until last. Don't level up any building that's not needed until your base is maxed. If you want to make a level 19 farm, don't level anything besides what you need to level that base to get level 19. Exploration is super important. All you have to do is just explore with your construction vehicles when you're going to sleep, or when you have a building queued up and you don't really have anything else to do but you need resources. Just explore. It produces so many resources, it's ridiculous. And the higher your base level gets, the more resources that exploration gives you. So just explore. Just level up the bases or the buildings that you need, and then once it's at that max level, if you're going to 19 or 13, then you start leveling up all the other things like banks and houses and resource plots and whatnot. That'll be the fastest way to level a farm and the most efficient way. If you're leveling up the resource plots along the way while it's leveling, you're just going to take away cash and resources from leveling up the base itself. Because when you're first leveling up bases, it's really not that demanding on how many resources you need. And depending on if your state's in Clash of Zones or you can do level 15 Wendels, you'll have plenty of resources and diamonds and speed ups of what you need to level up your base pretty quickly. So that's that. Last thing I want to talk about is some strategies for how to level up farms, because farms can be really stressful when it comes to leveling up a lot of them. There's two strategies that I kind of stick with, and I'll explain the two strategies and which one I go with. There's one where you just level up one farm at a time, and when it's maxed out, like when it's all the buildings are maxed out, resource plots are maxed out, it's got everything you want, you start your new farm, and then as a trader, you just funnel all the resources from that max farm to the next farm and just cannibalize itself. And it'll just make the other farm produce so much faster because it doesn't ever have to worry about resources or whatnot. That's a really easy strategy to make farms and make them one at a time and consistently be leveling up your farms pretty quick. It's a lot less stressful because you don't have to manage like 12 accounts at the same time. It is going to be a lot slower than the alternative method, and I'll discuss that right now. The alternative method is 4 farms at a time or 8 farms at a time, 8 farms, that sweet spot. All you do is get them leveled up so that way they have an APC and they can join a Wendell clown. Do level 15 clowns for 10 days straight on them. They'll get enough speed ups, enough diamonds, and enough resources to power level their base to level 13 right away, just in about an hour. And then you don't have to worry about like touching them again. You just do it all in one shot, all in one day, after about 10 level 15 Wendells. The only thing that's annoying about that is obviously you can't hit your farms for 10 days, but you'll get them all up at the same time, and it'll be a lot less stressful that way, I believe. It's faster that way, but also doing clowns on 8 accounts every day for 10 days is kind of annoying when first starting out, but it's something you can easily get used to. That's pretty much it for farms. If I left anything out, please leave a comment down below and let me know. I'll try to get back to your answer. I'll go ahead and put in the description of the video everything I kind of just talked about if I was rambling too much and you just tuned me out. So go ahead and look down there if there's any information that you didn't catch. And go ahead and leave me a comment on what type of topic you want to hear for next video. Alrighty, thank you. Bye-bye.